This tutorial video would be on how I made this beautiful button dress with collar and drawstrings around the waist. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around. It's your girl, OJB Fashion Style, and kindly hit the subscribe button and let's get started. So guys, for the making of a button dress with collar and drawstrings, we will require about 3 yards of fabric. So first I'll be cutting out the fabric for the top portion, which will include the one for the front and the one for the back. So the back will be a single piece of fabric, while the one for the front will be 2 pieces of fabric. As you can see, the one that is wider is the one for the front, and this one which I just folded will be for the back. Okay, so the width for the back fabric is about 19 inches when folded in two, while that of the front is 22 inches, and the full length is 17 inches. So first I'll be taking my neckline measurements, which is 3 inches width and 2 inches depth, and then I'll go ahead to connect both points with my curve row. So please take note that I started taking my measurement from the fabric on the top. Okay, so next what I'll be doing is to take my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is divided in two to give me 8, and then I went further to take my sleeve length of 10 inches. So at this point I also noticed that my camera wasn't well positioned, so it didn't actually show the measurement I took there, so sorry for that. So I went further to take my shoulder slope measurement of 1 inch, and then you can see that I'm connecting it back into the neckline. So for my waist measurement, I'll be taking a measurement of 10 inches. My waist is 32 inches, divided by 4 it's 8, but I decided to use the measurement of 10 inches and I added extra 2 inches to it, making it 12. So for the sleeve wide, I'll be going with a measurement of 11 inches, okay? And then I'll just make a point there and connect it to my waist measurement with my curve rule. Next, I simply went ahead to cut out my patterns. So I have my back fabric and then also that of my front. So I'll just place them on top of each other. As you can see, I'm placing the front fabric now on top of the back. So first, I'll be stitching on the shoulders and then on the side as well. So you could leave the side out, but I decided to stitch on the side, and now I'm simply folding on the wrong side my arm area. Okay, so I'll make a fold first. This fold I'm going to fold towards the front, okay, but this is towards the wrong sides first. So I'll run my stitches around this fold, okay, as I'm indicating with my finger, and after I'm done I'll be flipping it over to the right side. So I also folded the front portion of this top so as to have the area for my button and my buttonhole as well. So after I was done running my stitches, you can see I have folded one of my sleeves to the right side, and now I'll simply be folding the other to the right side as well, and I'll go ahead to flip my top to the right side. So this is what it looks like after I was done. It's a simple pattern. You can also see the button area neatly done. So we'll be working on the collar now. So if you want to watch a detailed tutorial video on how to draft a collar, I'll be leaving the link below in the description box. So I've already sewn my collar. All I'm simply going to be doing is attaching it to this top. So I simply took the measurement for the neck area, and then I also checked to see if the collar measurement I took is equal. It was right. So ensure you do that. Your collar is equal to the actual measurement of your neckline. So it was 19.2 inches. Okay. So what I'll simply be doing now, you can see from what I'd placed on the ground that it has two layers. Okay, I've lifted one now, so I'll be attaching one of the layer with the neckline of the top. I'll be using my pins to hold it in place. So after holding this first one with my pins, I'll be going over to the sewing machine to run my stitches. So please take note that I'm simply attaching one layer of this collar on the neckline of the top. I hope you understand. So after this, I'll go ahead to make my stitches, to run my stitches, sorry. So that portion where I'm indicating with my finger is where I'll run my stitches. So this is what it looks like after I was done running my stitch. You can see it. Then what I'll be doing next is to fold on top of this remaining layer, making a fold on the initial stitch that I had made. I'm simply covering that stitches using the remaining layers to cover it, and then I'm simply folding it inwards and I'll run a top stitch on it. So that's basically it for the attaching of a collar to a top. Okay, so I'll go ahead now to run my stitches on that area where I'm folding in and indicating with my fingers. So after that, we'll go ahead to work on the skirt portion of our top. So this is what it looked like after I was done running my stitches, and you can see that the camera quality is better. I actually changed the phone I was using, so please, in case the video quality wasn't that good, bear with me. So in my subsequent video, we're going to have a better quality presentation. So next, I'd cut out a piece of fabric which I'll be using to work on the skirt portion of this dress. So I've taken the measurement and taking the actual length of what I wanted. So I have fabric cut out for the front portion, which is in two pieces, and then I have the one for the back portion, which is a single folded in two. Okay, so I would start taking my measurements from the top portion of this fabric, and the first measurement I'll be taking there will be the same with the waist measurement of the top we had sewn. So it's 10 inches, and remember to add your seam allowance while cutting. Okay, so next to that will be from the waist to the hip measurement. So it's 11 inches. I made a point there, and for my hips I'm taking a measurement of 12 inches. My hip is 40 divided by 4 to give me 10, but I added extra 2-inch allowance to it, okay, to give it some freeness after I'd sewn it. So from the hip measurement, we'll go to the bottom of the skirt, which is the base of the skirt, and then I simply reduced the hip measurement by 1/2 inch. Okay, so it was more of a straight skirt, not a pencil skirt pattern. So from that measurement we took at the base of the skirt, I would also be drawing a curve around the bottom of the skirt, okay, so as to be able to get that shape or draft that shape, that curve shape at the bottom of our dress. Okay, so I'll simply be using my free hand to draw a curve around the bottom of my skirt. So you could use your curve rule as well to draw out your curve. So I went ahead to cut out my pattern. So you would notice that the other fabric was looking smaller. I actually mistakenly deleted some of the videos, and so I had to replace them by doing another video for that portion to complete that illustration I was doing there. So this is what it now looks like. So I'll go ahead now to stitch on the two sides. So this is what it now looks like after I was done running my stitches. And what I'm simply going to do now is to make my folds around the button and buttonhole area of my fabric, which is what I'm doing now. So I'll run my stitches around that portion where I'm indicating with my finger, and I will also be repeating it for the other side. So this is what it is now, neatly done. And I like to state here that you ensure that the measurements you did for this button area is equal to the measurement you did for your top. So I'll go ahead now to make folds around this cuff portion of the bottom of this skirt. Okay, so ensure you fold properly so it doesn't squeeze, and then you go over to the machine to run stitches around it. So this is what it is still looking like. I still have my curve shape. So when I iron this out after I'm done, you would see that it is actually neatly done. So next, I'm simply going to be attaching the top portion to the skirt. So guys, at this point, it is important that the measurement for the top portion is the same length as that of the skirt. Okay, so the measurement for the sides, for the front, for the back, and the full length is the same, both for the skirt and the top. So for that portion where you see me indicating with my fingers is where I'll be running my stitches. And as you can see, it was properly aligned and stitched together, and it is looking beautiful already. So this is what the inside looks, and then the outer portion is looking. So what I'm going to be doing now is around that waist portion, you can see where I'm indicating with my finger. I'm simply going to be using this piece of fabric to pipe from that portion where I'm indicating with my finger. So first, I'm simply making a fold inwards, and then I'm placing it on the top portion first. So I'll be running my stitches all through. Please take note of the areas where I'm indicating with my fingers. So after I was done, this is what it looks like. I've attached this piece of fabric on one side already. It's a simple tutorial. This particular piping is simple and basic for drawstring. So I will be attaching the other side, stitching on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to be folding it inwards and placing it on the skirt portion, as you are seeing me indicating with my finger. So I'll run my top stitch all the way from this portion to the other side, or all through the entire piece of fabric. Okay, so guys, this is what it now looks like after I was done, neatly done. Okay, so this string I'd already sewn, and I'm going to be using my pin to pass it through the piping to the other end. So it is basic. My other tutorial video, I usually attach my string first before stitching, completing my piping stitch. But this one, I had to finish the piping before passing through the drawstring using my pin. So this is the final look of this outfit. So the last and final thing I'm going to be doing is attaching my buttons and then my buttonholes. And I have these very fine brown white buttons that I'd set aside to use for this outfit. So I'm simply placing it on the portion where I'll be stitching the buttons, and then also the portion for the button holes. So guys, at this point we are basically done with the making of this outfit. I hope you loved it. Kindly leave us a comment below in the comment section, give us a like, and we look forward to seeing you on our next tutorial video.